In this video, we will go over how to do the Tortured Path Easter egg solo. Here are the rules. You have to do each map's Easter egg back to back in the same custom game without leaving. In the menu, hit Play Online, Custom Match. For mode, pick the Tortured Path and then Chapter 1 into the Storm. This is by far the worst Easter egg to do solo, but the good news is, if you pass into the Storm, the other maps are significantly easier. You know you are in the correct mode when the character screen, the borders of the screen are pulsing red. From here on out, if you succeed Chapter 1, you must play all the way through to get the Easter egg completion. You will get the achievement, I Have the Power, the ending cutscene, and credit towards the Wicked Warden character. 3 weapon camos, and the ability to use the Sword of Barbarossa on the 3 Tortured Path survival maps. Timestamps, as always, are in the description and the play bar. For every round, I will have a checklist on screen so you can have a reminder of what to complete at that time. Let's start with Chapter 1. For your loadout, I use the 9mm SAP, the N74 sticky grenades, Shell Shock with Exploit Weakness, Breathing Room, and Sustain Zone. This is actually the same loadout I used for Chapter 3 as well. The round requirements are very strict here. One wrong thing and the whole Easter egg is done, as in you have to start over. Chapter 1 is by far the hardest one, so once you have done that and you've had your mental health evaluated, lock and load and just lock in. For this guide, I will be using my own callouts because there aren't any in-game ones. So clockwise around the map, we have Spawn, the big house upstairs, the cellar, the windmill field, the middle house where Electric Cherry is, the windmill itself, behind the windmill, and the corner yard, and the corner house, and the crater. Starting off on round 1, beeline it over to behind the windmill and shoot this rope off of the tree. Then fill up this battery with 10 zombie kills. You know it's done when the green light on it shuts off. Once that's done, get it down to a few zombies left, and we are now going to look for 6 zombie parts. A head, torso, 2 legs, and 2 arms. I will first show each body part individually, and then show you all the spawns in one loop around the map. So if you are looking for a specific body part, watch this part coming up, but if you just want to do one loop around the map, then look at the timestamps to where it says all parts in one loop or something like that. Starting with the head spawns. The first location is on the back of this truck to the right of Quick Revive. The next spawn is in this corner house on this cabinet, behind the windmill on this fence post, in the middle house in the corner, and in the big house in this sink. The torso can spawn in a crate near the sniper walleye in front of the corner house, in a wheelbarrow in the corner yard, in the window above the Pack-a-Punch machine, on this cart in the windmill field, and in the big house in this fireplace. The arms can spawn in this grass planter in front of the corner house, on this wood debris to the right of the fireplace in the corner house, in the fireplace in the corner house, on this pile of logs in the corner yard, behind the windmill on these crates, behind the stamina machine, near the resupply crate in the windmill field, in the middle house in this fireplace, in the cellar behind this wooden pallet, and in the big house holding this basket. The legs can spawn in this flower pot in front of the corner house, off this wood in the ceiling in the corner house, in this flower pot in the corner yard, behind the windmill in this bush, on this fence behind the windmill, under this big board to the left of Pack-a-Punch, to the right of Electric Cherry in the middle house, in this hole in the wall to the left of Electric Cherry, on the left side of the blue truck's front tire, and in the cellar in these wine racks. Here is now a loop of all 30 spots in one loop. Now that you have all 6 zombie parts, make sure you have Quick Revive, shot the rope, and wall buy an SMG, and then continue to the next round. On round 2, you can go through and save a few zombies. Behind the windmill, there's this tree out of the map. You need to continuously hold the interact button to raise it out of the water uninterrupted. It will stop moving and you can grab the rope off of the tree. Also, just by double tap, which is right here. End the round, and this is your first objective round, so go through the objective, whatever it is. If you're able to, go ahead and farm some points if you can. Before you continue though, pick up the 2 metal rods by the drop pod near the crater. If the drop pod isn't there, then you missed a part, whether it be a zombie part or the rope. But if you do have the drop pod, then pick up the 2 rods. One will be in the cow and one will be next to the car. They are very obvious. Once you have completed the objective round, be sure to shoot down the care package that drops from the sky, and do not pick up the max ammo. It will stay there indefinitely. Oh yeah, and do not use your shell shock. If you have it overcharged to full red meter, treat that like gold. Hold on to it for dear life, as in don't go down. Pick up whatever you want from that care package, as long as it's not the max ammo. If anything, just grab the armor and the points. Now head down to the cellar and charge the second battery for round 4. Farm up some points, and if you can, grab stamina up and speed cola. If you can't, it's fine, but if you have spare points, also try to get jack-in-the-boxes. You can do this by spamming the starter weapon wall buy next to Quick Revive, as it's 500 points. Eventually, if you keep buying it, it will randomly give you jack-in-the-boxes. And if you, again, have the extra points, buy an assault rifle as well, again, if you have the spare points, but only do that after you got jack-in-the-boxes. Buying the perks and jack-in-the-boxes is optional on round 4, but by the end of round 5, make sure you have all of this. Speaking of round 5, there will be 2 Wustlings that spawn. Keep them alive. Go through most of the round, and then when you get a chance, you need to line the 2 Wustlings up so that if you shoot the back one, it charges at the one closer to you, causing it to die and drop its arm. Pick up the arm and keep that Wustling alive, but then kill everything else. The Wustling will be your last zombie. You now need to do the windmill step. What you need to do is stop this blade of the windmill so that it is exactly at the bottom in its lowest position. There are 2 methods to do this. One is consistent with both parts of this step, but a little harder to do. The other only works for the first part, but it's a lot easier. You are going to time putting the Wustling Arm in the gears here of the windmill. I would practice this a little bit, as the hitbox for putting the Wustling Arm in is a bit weird sometimes. So my main method is that you are going to wait for the blade to pass this tree, then count 5 seconds, and on that 5th second, put in the Wustling Arm and check your homework. If it's a bit to the right, then you were a little too late. If it's a bit to the left, then you were a bit too early. Play around with this timing, and eventually you will get your own method going. While you're waiting around, keep the Wustling far away, kind of near the spawnish area. When you see your blade coming around, then sprint over and then do your strategy. If you are really having trouble with this, then at your same timing with the tree, head inside and then look out the door. You will see the blade just barely pass over that door frame. At that time is when you put in the arm. But again, this only works for this first part of it. If you stopped it in the correct place, then you can place the zombies on the blade. Make sure it has the metal rods on there as well, as he can actually get attached without the metal rods. Now that he's attached to the blade, take the Wustling Arm out, and he needs to be at the very highest point of the windmill now. So you're now going to do the timing with this blade. This one, you need to get your 5-second timing down, as it's too short to actually see in the doorframe. If you think you stopped it in the right place, double check the blades are parallel to these lines on the windmill structure. If they are, then you did it correctly. If not, just wait around and try it again. If the windmill is correct, then go ahead and kill the Wustling. Lightning will strike the zombie during the round transition, and you need to fill it up with souls during the objective round. You might be screwed over with some dumb objectives, but just make the best of it, and use your jack-in-the-boxes. throw them right at the zombie that fell and throw a Semtex as well to maximize your kills on the zombie, but maybe minimize your jack-in-the-boxes if at all possible. Go do your objectives however you need. If you can get through the objective wave without using all of your jack-in-the-boxes, that is ideal. The more souls you feed to the zombie, the faster and stronger it is during the escort. Now, to make this escort as minimally rage-inducing as possible, we are going to maximize our jack-in-the-boxes. At the end of the objective wave, do not shoot down the care package. Just let it sit on the ground unopened. You will see the zombie get up, and this is when you use any jack-in-the-boxes you didn't use during the objective wave. When you're out, pick up the max ammo that was there since round 3, and then throw more jack-in-the-boxes, and then step away from the area where you got the max ammo from and open the care package. Don't pick up this max ammo either. If you used all 3 from the round 3 max ammo, he should at least be through the windmill. Pick up that max ammo as well when you have used your 3rd jack-in-the-box, and then the zombie should be in this back area. Stand right here in the middle and use your shell shock. He should make his entire way through this shell-shocked area, especially if it's overcharged. When he enters the corner house, use your jack-in-the-boxes and throw them outside near the 3rd battery near the crater. Keep any zombies off of him and he should enter this hole. Now use the remaining zombies to fill up this 3rd battery just outside the corner house. You should have enough zombies to open Pack-a-Punch. Pack-a-Punch at least your 9mm SAP. If you have enough points, then Pack-a-Punch another weapon as well. Head over to the hole this zombie crawled into and end the round. Round 8, you need to fill the escort zombie with souls. It's not as fragile this time around, but it can still die. So what you're going to do is any remaining jack-in-the-boxes you have, throw them ahead of the zombie's path and kill as many zombies as possible. He will be holding a battery that will glow red or green. If you see the battery glow green and he stops taking souls, then you need to do one of 2 things. If the zombie is in the big house upstairs, then use your shell shock again if you have it charged near the stairs to protect him and go through. If he's still outside or in the cellar, then let zombies just wail on him. Again, only if he has the green battery. The reason for the shell shock is that if the zombies kill him while he's in the big house, that technically is the 2nd floor, so what can happen is the battery will fall through the floor, never to be obtained again, and it's game over basically. That's really the only reason I can think of as to why this happens, but anyway, I recommend to just keep your headache at bay, let the zombie get all the way to the end of his route to the cellar, and he can die. Pick up that battery and place it in this blue slot. Inside will be your hilt. Pick it up and you will get all the perks. I can pick up the sword in my game because I've already done this Easter egg, so don't expect the full sword in there. Continue with your round 9's objective, and round 10 is a boss fight. If you did round 9's objective, you get a max ammo, so just throw jack-in-the-boxes in the red rings. Eventually, his shield will go down, just wail on him with the 9mm, keep throwing jacks, and that's the boss fight. Now round 11, you need to exfil, so just chill there and wait for the game to end. That is all for Chapter 1. Congratulations, you did the hard part. No pressure, but if you mess up from here on out, you have to start all over again. And remember, you can't leave this lobby now. You're stuck. Okay, now in the menu, pick Chapter 2, Across the Depths. For your loadout, I use the 1911s with Free Fire, Flak Jacket, and Fully Loaded, and the Mark II mods. Flak Jacket will be important because A, the map is very close quarters, and B, if you detonate a bomber's bomb, it won't damage you. And there can be a lot of bombers in that close quarters area. Now start the game and fill up the first battery on the lower deck with 10 zombie souls, thin out the horde, and then grab Quick Revive and an SMG. Go ahead and melee this battery in the corner by Pack-a-Punch to activate Easter Egg Vision. This causes the zombies to appear and disappear at random, so just be cautious with this, as it will be on for the rest of the Easter egg. Basically, the zombies are still there, they're just invisible, so if you are running and you can't move forward for some reason, there's a zombie in front of you. So stand over by these stairs and end the round. 9 fish will appear around the map, so during the round transition, shoot as many as you can. You should get most of them by the time the round starts. You know you shot one when you see a little red explosion. The first location is here in the trays near Speed Cola, then this one on top of the cabinet before the stairs, then move down the stairs into the red floor room, and then shoot this one on top of this cabinet, then this one in the medical room, then this one on this trash can in the next room, then hit this one on these ladder stairs. Next, go down to the hall and past Speed Cola and shoot this one at the end of the hall, then in the projector room on top of the ducts, and then finally this one in the crate right before you head outside. When you have shot all 9, go through the round, and before you end it, just buy double tap for the objective round. Then go over to the lower deck, wait here to actually end the round by this ammo crate. During the round transition, you will escort this fish over to the hallway, and then you will have to do your objective round. During the objective round, if you are able to, look for the Uber Schnell battery that spawns in. Remember, you need 3,000 points for this, and you need to buy these Uber Schnell batteries 3 times, so save up some points. There are 7 locations for the battery. Right here next to this door, here under these lifeboats to the right of the SMG wallby, across from the SMG wallby, on this white box to the left of Quick Revive, on the underside of this lifeboat, to the right of the first Pack-a-Punch battery, and in the middle of the lower deck. Buy the battery during their objective wave, and during the round transition, carry it to the fish's location. Now for round 4, we are going to simultaneously fill up the second Pack-a-Punch battery and the first fish battery. Given that they are right next to each other, if you get overwhelmed, then use your free fire. You should fill both batteries with a few zombies to spare, so escort the fish to its second location and find the battery. The battery has the same spawns, so if you don't remember them, just click that timestamp in the video. When you find the battery, bring it over to the fish and place it in and do the same thing. You might have extra points to spare, so see if you can get Jack-in-the-Boxes, as it will make fighting in these tight corridors without free fire a little bit easier. But this isn't required, so go on to round 5 and fill up the second fish's battery, and when it's done, escort the fish to its third location. Now you can find and place the third battery, but do not fill it up with souls. If you do, it will auto-teleport you to the final sequence, and I do not recommend doing that before unlocking Pack-a-Punch. This is also when you should really aim to get your Jack-in-the-Boxes and other perks right before that Wave 6 objective round. During Wave 6, just do the objective. During Wave 7, fill up the final Pack-a-Punch battery, which is right next to the Pack-a-Punch. Pack at least your 1911s, and if you have extra points to spare, then go ahead and pack another weapon. During Wave 8, fill up the third battery and you will be teleported to the underwater area. This has some mandatory platforming, so if you mess up a jump, you will go down and you will cry. The jumps are very easy though, so just don't do it. You will jump from island to island, referencing each of the previous maps. The first island is for the final Reich, Straub will talk, and then a Wustling will spawn in with a bunch of zombies. Kill them, and you will see some platforms to progress to the next island, which is the Darkest Shore. Straub will talk, and then a Mukler will spawn in with some zombies. Again, same thing. You get a max ammo after this one, so don't be afraid to hold back on ammo. Progress to the next island, which is the Shadow Throne. Straub will talk, and then a Sizzler will spawn in with some zombies. When that's done, progress to the final island, which will have a cup memory game. To make your choice of bucket, you have to shoot the bucket. The first 2 are pretty straightforward, but the last one can be a little bit tricky. So what you can do is, right as all the buckets spawn, when you see a fish go into a bucket, quickly throw a Semtex in the bucket and it will char black. So you don't need to keep track of it. When it stops moving, look for the bucket that is more black than red than any of the other ones, and just pick that one. Or, if you're a gamer, just keep track of it, forehead. If you fail any of these rounds, a Wustling will spawn in, and then some enemies will progressively get more and more aggressive, so just don't mess it up. When you finish the third round, you will be teleported back to the map, and you can pick up the Pommel to get all of the perks. Congrats, you are done with this part of the Easter egg. Finish Wave 9's objective, and Wave 10's boss is a Stadtjäger, so just kill it quickly and exfil the map on round 11. Congrats, you're almost there. This is the easiest part of the whole Easter egg, so as long as you don't have any major blunders, you'll be fine. In the menu, pick Chapter 3, Beneath the Ice. For your loadout, I use the same one as the first chapter, which is the 9mm SAP, Shell Shock with Exploit Weakness, Breathing Room, and Sustain Zone with Sticky Grenades. If you want, you can also use Chapter 2's loadout. This is more personal preference. Let's put it this way, the Shell Shock loadout will be better for the boss fight, the Free Fire loadout will be better for one of the steps. I personally use Shell Shock, but that's neither here nor there. Go ahead and start the map and go to the first battery on the upper left side, kill 10 zombies until it's full, and then get about 3 or 4 zombies left to make sure they are slow. Melee this battery in the center area 3 times, grab Quick Revive and an SMG, and then just progress to the next wave. Thin out the horde till you have a few zombies left, and now we are going to grab the first code. As long as you meleeed that battery 3 times on round 1, you can interact with the battery now and you will enter Easter egg vision again. This time it's more temporary. There are 14 locations for these codes to spawn in, and you can look at most of them with 1 Easter egg vision. If you run out, just interact with the battery again. The first one is right above the battery under this blood waterfall thing. The next one is here above the LMG wallby, here on top of the archway to the left of the shotgun wallby, here near the stairs, and here on this stone on the opposite side of the stairs. On this archway above the first Pack-a-Punch battery, on this second archway going up the stairs, in this alcove to the right of the assault rifle wallby, on this wall before going down the other set of stairs, on the right side of this archway going down the stairs, on the stones behind Electric Cherry, on this archway when going into the middle area from Electric Cherry, on this wall above the SMG wallby, and on the left side of the main stairs going into the blood room before the scaffolding. When you find your code, go and input it into this Rune Wall. How this wall works is that you can make 8 inputs before it resets. So if you mess up inputting a code, just keep pressing a random letter until it resets. If you do put in the correct code, then the wall will glow red. By double tap and end the round. In this room, during the round transition, you will see a care package fall through the ceiling. Inside is the hilt. Pick it up and place it in the glowing pedestal in the center room. This will cause flares to spawn in on the main staircase. Pick some up for now. You can do your objective round, and if you can, either during or after, throw your flares into each of the 4 pillar cauldrons around the center room. Just stand under them and aim directly up. If you miss, you can just pick more up and try again. Once all 4 fires are lit, go over to this bowl near Stamina Up and throw a flare inside it. This one can be tricky, so take a few cracks at it. Once that bowl is on fire, this wall will open and a rune will be inside. Pick it up and place it on the wall. So you can do this during round 4 as well, just don't move on to round 5, and don't accidentally kill your last zombies with the flares. Yeah. During round 4 though, you do need to fill up the second Pack-a-Punch battery near Stamina Up. Thin out the horde, get a few zombies left, and now we are going to get our second code. Make sure to do the flares if you haven't already and place the rune on top of the Rune Wall. If you placed it there, another Rune Code will spawn in. So now go back to the battery and check all the locations again. You may spot the one you used for the first code, so just don't get fooled by that. If you need all the locations, just go back in the timestamp in the description. Once you have found your second code, input it into the wall, and then end the round. In the round transition, another care package will drop. This time inside is the Pommel. Pick it up and place it in the glowing pedestal in the center room. For round 5, you need to stand on this plate in the spawn area and kill as many zombies as possible while standing in it. You cannot leave the plate or it will restart. So start the round by picking off a few zombies, and then when it starts getting overwhelming, either pop your shell shocks or your free fire, depending on which one you have, and just pick off zombies. It takes a good number of them, so just hold your ground, but it won't take too much longer if you timed the shell shock properly. If done correctly, you will hear a success musical tone like this. If you hear that, then you can get off the plate, but don't get off until you do. If you hear the music, then go into the middle room, and under this blood fountain is a rune. Pick it up and place it in the wall. This is a good time to get Jack-in-the-Boxes if you haven't already. Now round 6 is an objective wave, so simply just do the best you can. If you are really ambitious and you really do have the time, you can look for the Rune Code, but it is not necessary. We can do this on round 8. Anyways, just do the best you can for the objective. For wave 7, fill up the third Pack-a-Punch battery next to Pack-a-Punch and then pack your 9mm. Grab all your perks, and if you haven't gotten Jack-in-the-Boxes, then do that. For wave 8, you are going to thin out the horde and save a few zombies. Now you are going to look for the final Rune Wall code. Make sure you place that third rune in the upper wall. Then go activate the battery and look around in all the locations again. You might see the codes you used for the first two, so don't get confused. Again, if you need all the spawns again, check the timestamp. Now once you have inputted the third code and the wall glowed red, end the round, and in the round transition again, another care package with the blade inside will drop. Pick it up and place it in the glowing pedestal in the center. You will have the option to assemble the sword, so do that, and once you get the sword assembled pop-up, you can pick it up and you will have the I have the power achievement. But your work is not done. Finish round 9's objective and you will be on to the Guardian boss fight. This will be pretty simple, just throw your jacks and pop your shell shock if you have it, or your free fire. The 9mm will take care of him rather quickly, but be careful as he has a healing mechanic. He will go to the center room and you will see the blood fountains above him attached to him. Shoot the blood fountains that are above him and it will stop his healing. Kill him and you will get the David meets Goliath achievement. Finally, do the round 11 exfil, and if you did everything back to back without failing, you will get the cutscene. Congratulations on doing the tortured path. If you were new to this, then that was hell, but if you did it, congrats. This is probably the hardest solo Easter egg in the franchise, so pat yourself on the back for sticking through it. Thank you all for watching.